Hi there. How's it going? My name is John Porch. I am a man that I was shot out of a cannon during my divorce. Even though I was very sad about all of it. This took place, you know, about 2 years ago, eventually I I lost everything that I had because of just paranoia that led to some choices that led to some circumstances that changed a fair bit in my life. And through all of that, I've kind of come to the place where I realized that there's absolutely nothing that anybody can ever take away from who you are. And I already knew this, but experientially I didn't. Nobody can take anything from who you are based upon your lot in life. Based upon your life status. I was a man that was really working hard to support himself, and I was doing it every day, and I was happy to do it. I was proud of myself. I was very proud of myself, and then I crashed my car in San Diego, and I had another phase of my life for a couple of months where, I actually had probably the most profound philosophical phase of revelation while I was sleeping in a garage, for several months. And at that point, I wasn't working at all. And I wasn't working because I was just very concerned about what somebody might try to do to my life if I left where I was living. Like even for more than 5 or 10 minutes. It was pretty severe paranoia because of the actions of somebody who tried to do something to my life that is unforgivable. But the rest of my time in San Diego was a lot of soul searching about my feelings. And a lot of it wasn't clear, but some of it was very clear. And many things were clear that actually made the overall very confusing for me. And eventually I left San Diego, and I came here to Denver, and I started working again. After my paranoia cleared up, I started working again. And I started doing the same thing I was doing, which was driving. But unfortunately, the vehicle I was driving was very out of date and died not too long after I got here. And that led me to be in another circumstance that has been trying, but only because I'm not somebody that wants to work for a corporation or a business, I'm just not somebody who likes the idea of standing still or staying in one place all day long during a work day, unless it was home life. But even then, I wouldn't necessarily want to stay there all day. It's just not who I am. It's just part of me. I've realized that it's just part of me. I don't like being in a build. I don't like the idea of just living my life in a building every single day. You know, just doing the same repetitive thing that I probably don't have too much interest in. It's just not who I am. I realized that finally. Well, I mean, I knew it quite some time ago, but, you know, unless it was a circumstance where I was doing exactly what I wanted to be doing and somehow that meant that I was making money doing it, that would be a very miserable life for me. And I've known that for some time now. And through all of that, you know, I have also continued to search through my feelings since I came here, and I've made them known. You know, I've made my feelings known. I've made them clear in a way where I know that the people who can actually hear, you know, who actually know my life circumstance, they know about those feelings, and it's not something that I regret doing. You know, despite seeming betrayal around some of that, it's not something that I regret doing. You know, because ultimately people are people. And what's important is being real with people no matter what does or doesn't happen. No matter what they do or don't do, no matter if they never speak to you again. And when people pull away from you after you've just been honest with them, or after you've just told them the truth about whatever, or you've tried to reach out to them and they just disappear, you know, it's a circumstance that ultimately you have two options, and one of them is to just, you know, turn into somebody that you're most likely not, and that's somebody who would probably just respond in kind, you know, and say, oh yeah, that's how you're gonna, you know, and just be this toxic, angry, or you know, just somebody that is not comfortable with the idea that maybe even if you're truly honest with somebody, and there's some sort of you know, some sort of rejection, or maybe some sort of, well, that's fine, you do you. I'm gonna pretend like you don't exist. You have two choices in the circumstance, and one of them is to just become somebody that you're not, and let that person take something from you just because of their response to you. Because that's effectively what you would do if you responded to that negativity. You would be giving that person power over you, and in a pretty toxic way. You would just be choosing that. And that's not something that you can do and still maintain any sense of power over your own life. You know? And then the other option is to try to be accommodating in response and say, well, what do you want from me? How can I be of approval to you? I'll do whatever it is that you think or would want me to be more approving to you. I'll do whatever that takes, whatever it is. And that is also just absolute nonsense. You got to do whatever it is that's important to you, and be whoever you are, no matter where you are in your life. It has to stay the same no matter where you are in your life, no matter what's going on. You have to be the same person. You have to be the same person in terms of your integrity and just who you are. There's nothing that should ever change there. No matter who is or isn't regarding you, no matter who is or isn't, or no matter how they do, you have to be the same person. It can never be dependent on somebody else's perception or somebody else's mannerisms towards you. And this is something that I've known for a long time, but it's the first time in my life where I've really experienced, I've really experienced it, at least gone through the experience of. And at least, the first time in my life since I actually dropped weight, believe it or not. Because when I was a larger man, it actually was a day-to-day experience where people just kind of ignore you, and they kind of look past you when you're, when you were the type of overweight that I was. At least they just kind of look past you. That was something that I experienced for years, and I never forgot what that was like. It's not fun. But it says everything about them, and I knew that at the time. And this is a circumstance where I'm relearning, or rather, I'm just having that experience in my life, as a dude that is, much lighter, pretty fit, but my life status is what it is right now. It's not something that a lot of people would see and be like, "Yep." It's not something that a lot of people would want to jump at the chance to be around somebody like that. At least in terms of where my life status is. And that's not something that bothers me, really. As a matter of fact, it's something that, in its own way, it's almost like its own filter, of, who's real, who's not. You're going to find out real quick when you are pretty much, when you're living homeless and you don't have a job. You're going to find out who's real and who's not pretty quickly. And that's something that, that I'm grateful for. And even in that circumstance, you see and find real people through that. And they still may not be the people that you want to be around, but you can still see who they are. And there's nothing but opportunity for seeing somebody's true nature when you live homeless and without a job, and people know about that.